I literally can't access my Twitter.
Right? You can literally believe that you're a lizard today.
He has the most unlikable quality in a human being, which is that he is an expert in everything. Literally, if a dog walks by, he's like, that's a Shih Tzu boxer hound mix right there.
I literally sat on like the lawn chair across from him.
I literally rolled back the hands of time 10 years.
Literally less time to cook than it would normally take for me to do the shopping.
This dude got on. He was so fat. He was sitting next to me. I was literally next to him and behind him. He was
properly handling classified documents and data and leaking them and publishing them comes with a penalty of literally decades in prison. So, because the solution to literally every international problem is just more war, more bombing, more for his office in DC literally has his fingerprints in every nefarious activity of day one. It's literally just the beginning.
She's a little quiet, but she literally talks about her chest.
I think I'm attractive, but apparently other people don't, because I literally never get hit on. So
being so single to the point where it like literally seems impossible.
From public meltdowns to cheating scandals to him literally yelling at journalists for no. This is a bombshell of a Gavin Newsom literally melting down when JD Vance literally looks like just a normal guy while JD Vance was literally preparing to serve his country.
And being a flight attendant comes with a lot of perks, like lots of days off, the ability to jump seat, which means if there's an empty seat on a plane, you can get in and literally ride for free.
I have probably sketches of my original idea, and it's literally chicken scratch, which is different from time code, which I learned slowly. I literally had to. Anyway, that's the whole thing.
That's impressive. Exactly. He was behind like a pillar that like went into, there was a little bit of room to go into these offices, and he was literally just behind the pillar.
As I mentioned earlier, I tend to choose my reactions to things and not get bent out of shape for the most part. Something I am proud of, that whether it's being evicted years ago, I remember coming home and seeing an eviction notice on my door in my apartment in the Bronx, and it didn't faze me, didn't crush me. I looked at it, realized what it was, crushed it up and threw it in the garbage, and then proceeded to continue to execute my escape from corporate America. Ended up having to live on a couch with someone else. But so I tend to pride myself on not responding to negative things too emotionally. However, there is something that is getting under my skin that I've noticed more and more, and I'll mention it here just to fill some time, and that is the demise, the degradation, and the destruction of the English language, led primarily by YouTubers and commenters on the internet. And as a writer, but it's more so as a writer, just someone who values precision and specificity in communication, seeing how people are mangling the language is something that gets under my skin. And it's not that I want to appear intelligent or more intelligent or have a better vocabulary or be a grammar police enforcer. It's for another reason, and I think this is it. Let me know if you agree with this. When I see people destroying the English language, what bothers me more than the fact that they don't know the language, and that is also something I think about. How is it that they not know this, and how is it that they not know that? Then that's one thing. But the other thing is, what bothers me more is the influence that that individual has, and that we have a saying in Jamaica, one fool makes many. That the influence of one person doing something bad will actually cause a domino effect and influence other people. So one fool makes many. So it's okay that people don't know how to conjugate verbs and don't know how agreement works, or don't know how to past participle works. But what bothers me more is the fact that there are people with millions of subscribers who are saying things like, I should have went to the supermarket, and they're influencing a whole generation of youngsters, influencing a whole world of people who are learning English for the first time, who look at this person who has achieved this level of influence, and they're saying to themselves, okay, this person is adult, this person is a newscaster, this person is an influencer with 5 million subscribers. If they say, I should have went to the supermarket, or by the way, the correct is I should have gone to the supermarket, then if they say it, then it must be true. So then you have people who are following that path, and now you have a whole generation of youngsters who don't know properly how to speak. And that's what bothers me more. The fact that you have newscasters, the fact that you have politicians, the fact that you have influencers who don't care enough about, or simply aren't aware that they're saying things incorrectly, and are having this inordinate effect on people. And you'll see it in the comments. You'll see it in the fact that there's no more punctuation in comments anymore. People don't know how to make a word plural. They're putting apostrophe S there to make a word plural. It's bad. And the worst one is, that gets under my skin the most, is the use of, and by that I mean the misuse of, the word literally. All right. Now, if this is not a pet peeve of yours, then you've probably never noticed. You've probably already committed this, in my mind, this sin to yourself. But 99.9% of the people who use the word literally in any video on YouTube are using it incorrectly. I have a video I'll release on my Walt Goodridge channel where I actually document dozens and dozens of people who are misusing it. Now, if you're not familiar, I'll explain. The word literally is, and the sad part about it is, if you now go to Merriam-Webster, you'll actually see they have too jumped on the bandwagon. But for many years, and originally, according to the English lexicon, the word literally means in opposition to figuratively or metaphorically. So the example I like to give is this. You have a phrase like walking on eggshells. That's a metaphor, all right? That's a figure of speech. It means that you're doing something carefully, gently, gingerly, without making noise. You're doing something, exercising a particular degree of care so that you're not disturbing someone or a particular situation. So, for example, you might say to someone, when I was growing up, my stepfather was an angry drunk, and so we were walking. So living with him was like walking on eggshells every day, meaning we had to behave in a particular way. We had to watch our behavior. We had to not make noise. We had to walk gingerly as if we were trying to walk on eggshells so as not to disturb him. So it's a figure of speech. We had to walk on eggshells. Now, one day you and your brother are playing, and you went in the kitchen and you opened the fridge, and accidentally you drop a carton of eggs on the floor, on the kitchen floor. And now, in order to clean it up, while your stepfather is sleeping in the living room, so now in order to clean it up, you have to walk across that spill to get to the broom or the mop to clean it up. So you could say to someone, using the word literally correctly, on that day that we spilled the eggs in the kitchen, in order to get to the broom, in this case, we had to literally walk on eggshells, meaning the term walking on eggshells is now no longer simply a metaphor. You are actually doing it in real life, in real time. So you could now say we were literally walking on eggshells, as opposed to figuratively or metaphorically walking on eggshells. And that has been the typical use of the word literally. It's not something that comes up in everyday conversation. It's not something that you would find yourself using frequently, because there are very few metaphors and figures of speech that can then be transposed into a physical, real world equivalent. So it's not something that would happen often. These days, however, as you've probably already realized, everyone is using the word simply to mean actually, or to mean emphatically, or people are starting YouTube videos with the word literally as their first word. It is annoying, and for those of us who value precise communication, it is something that gets on our nerves. I have stopped watching certain of my favorite YouTubers for that reason, because every time I hear it, it's like nails scratching on a chalkboard, and I simply can't abide sitting there getting, this is the other part, allowing myself to be subjected to the errors as someone who is getting knowledge from an individual. So in other words, if I'm sitting and I'm watching your YouTube channel because I respect your intelligence, and I'm watching it because I want your perspective on certain things, and value your intellectual status, then when I hear you misuse the word like that, it amounts to a demerit. And I lose a certain amount of respect for the individual, and I can't sit there just listening and saying, why, how is it that I find myself here being tutored under the tutelage of this individual who doesn't know any better than to say I should have went to the supermarket. So that's the major pet peeve I have when it comes to the misuse of the language. One is the effect that it has on a younger generation, and two, I feel like an idiot sitting there watching this person who doesn't know better about how to use the language. So that's me. All right. So that's the rant I wanted to share with you, is my literally rant. So if that bothers you, then you'll probably already noticed it, that every single commercial, every single ad, every single YouTube influencer, even reporters. I was listening to a news report the other day, and the reporter on site at an outside event used the word literally 3 times within the course of a minute. This is a failure of journalism for a person to use that. Now, I know what you might be saying. Like I said, if you go look on the Merriam-Webster or dictionary.com, you will see that they too have embraced using it simply to mean to express emphasis on a particular thing. So someone will say, I sat on the subway and this guy, he literally sat next to me. Of course he literally sat next to you, because that's what sitting next to you is. It is a literal act. It is a physical act. You don't need to say he literally sat next to me, because that doesn't make any sense. So anyway, if that's not a pet peeve of yours, and because of my rant it has now become something that you'll notice, then I apologize, because you're going to be driven crazy by how often you see it. Aren't there become a time when you don't need women or booklets? All right, so someone is commenting on my rant, and they're trying to get under my skin here. So One Man Show Forever says, ain't there become a time when you don't need no more book learning or schooling? And he misspelled everything to get me upset, but I'm choosing my response. Okay. It's not okay. I know there are people who look at this differently. There are people who don't care. There are people who will say, I know what he meant. I know what she meant by that. And I'm not going to chastise them or fault them for not knowing how to spell. Fair enough. And I know the internet is filled with people who are learning English as a second language. So yes, it's forgivable that that there will be misspellings and the like in comments and on videos. And it's not about book learning. See, I believe that words mean things. I believe that it is important to maintain a basic level of communication and accuracy. And again, as I said, specificity when it comes to using words the way that they are supposed to be used. So, for example, if you don't know the difference between the subtle difference between the word accept and accept, I was thinking of some examples recently. Let's suppose you are in the military and you are working at a nuclear launch site, and you somehow have gotten to this level without knowing what the word, you've heard the word accept or accept, and you don't know the difference, and you read the instructions on when to respond to a code and what to do, and you don't know the difference between accept or accept, you could cause some serious trouble with the fate of the world if you are not at a minimum level of proficiency when it comes to the use of the English language. So to me, it's not about getting past the stage of book learning. For me, it's basic communication, that we have a basic bar of communication that we have sunk far below. So that's my take. So yes, book learning itself, that's one thing. You don't need that to be successful. Absolutely. And the million follower YouTubers who don't know how to speak are proof of that yes, you don't need the book learning in order to be successful by society's standards. However, there are other aspects to this that I think are important. Not simply how you feel about your education, but what your influence will be on future generations and on other people. So that's my take. One man show. Thanks for that.